Hey guys, it's Tessa. So this video is picking up right after the last Daft Days Cardigan video. It's by the Cardigan. I have already some thoughts, feelings, and opinions on this pattern that I mentioned at the end of the last video, so go check that out. And today, for this video, we are going to hopefully get through the back and two front panels, and then depending on how long that takes me, we'll probably get to the sleeves as well in this video. I don't really know. But I have started the front left panel. I have my knitting over there, so I can't really show you at the moment. But I will do a check-in before I go to bed tonight. So I was supposed to check in last night. I didn't. I also haven't done any additional knitting from last night either. It's almost 10 p.m. I probably won't do any knitting today, but I did get through... You can't even see it. Oh my gosh. Okay. I did get through the majority of the decreases for this panel. You literally can't tell because of the way I have to have these fucking fuck-ass needles sit. Doesn't really matter. Point is, I've gotten through almost all the decreases. I think I only have a couple left, actually, now that I think about it. Like, I think I'm at 66 stitches and I need to get down to 63. So I think I have about 5 or 6 rows left, just depending on where I left off. Honestly, I don't really remember and I don't really care. Additionally, I look kind of frumpy tonight because 1, I have a migraine, and 2, I kind of hinted towards this in the last part of this video, or last video at the end of... Anywho, I'm struggling, so I'm just a little frumpy today, and that's fine. I did also want to show you guys some new mailers I got. So I have been selling a lot of cardigans, and the mailers I have currently are not big enough for them. So I essentially send them as tubes, which it's, I don't know. Since I was gonna get new mailers for, or larger mailers for the cardigans, and the company I go through has pretty good pricing, I was like, fuck it, let me get a couple different sizes, just so I have a couple different sizes. So to start, and the reason for me making the purchase all together, I believe they are 14 by 19 inches. Excuse me, these are 19 by 24 inches, okay? So, my bad, I was wrong. They literally won't get out of this package. I don't know what to tell you. So, this first one here is our 19 by 24. This is going to be pretty much exclusively used for the cardigans. But this is like a, hyacinth, I think is what the flower is. I might be wrong. But it's like the Christmas flower and stuff. I don't care that I'll have these past Christmas because that doesn't really matter to me. So I bought 25 of these. The next smallest size, but I believe it's the one size above my largest size that I currently have. My large size I currently use does hold pretty much everything, but these are going to be mostly used for the pocket scarves that I make. Just because I don't think those will fit comfortably in my current size mailers. So I bought these ones. I believe these are, yeah, these are 14.5 by 19 inch. And it's just like a lavendery purple with bats and moons. I love Halloween, so, you know. And then finally, I essentially bought the in-between size of the smallest size, which I have, and the, like, not immediate next size up, but the following one. So the one I bought is that in-between size, because these are 7.5 by 10.5, and these are just pumpkins. I think they're really cute. But those are the 3 mailers I bought. I'm going to attempt a little bit of knitting. I'm also, I think I said this already, but I do have a migraine. So my brain is not at functioning capacity, to be honest. But I'm going to put all this away. Possibly get to some knitting. I was wrong earlier when I checked in. I was already at 64 stitches, so all I need to do is just decrease 1 to 63. I'm there now. So my plan now is to keep knitting. I have to knit a total of 6, almost 7 inches, and then from there I have to do more decreasing basically. I think instead of decreasing it's technically bind off, but still, semantics. I'm gonna get to that though. Okay. So, I haven't checked in like at all today. I've been, 1, hanging out with my husband, and 2, I'm just really tired this week. Like I've kind of mentioned in either this video or another one, it's just been kind of a rough week for me due to some stuff I've been through. So I've been trying to be a little less hard on myself and like a little bit less like, if I don't get this done, I'm terrible, you know? So I got good news though. I finished the entire front left panel. I still have the entire back and right because I didn't start those. Essentially, I think this will sit up here-ish. You know, pulled up a little bit farther this way. But I'm not really sure how I feel yet about the crop and length. Just because I don't wear a lot of cropped things. Like I mentioned in the first part of working on first video or part 1 of this video series, I don't usually wear cropped things, and if I do, it's very rare, and I'm kind of picky about the cropped length, to be fair. I am gonna get started hopefully on the second panel tonight, or the second front panel tonight. I had a little bit of a stroke with doing this neck shaping. In my head, I don't know how I would have thought it's done, but essentially the way we ended up doing it was just casting off a set number of stitches at the start of the wrong side rows. So that makes a lot of sense because that's, you know, how shaping works. I think my brain just didn't really register it because of how we did the shaping for like the rest of it was just a bunch of decreases. But obviously there were a set number of decreases across a set number of rows or inches or stitches and gone from there. So, but yeah, I actually am really liking the color. I didn't think I would. I was a little hesitant about the color pattern, I will say. I've decided as well, it's currently November 1st, but I've decided as well that this year we're gonna be spooky Christmas people. I don't really know what that means. I just didn't do anything for Halloween, like I didn't decorate our apartment or anything. So I am now just kind of like, I need to make spooky Christmas. We finished watching Night Before Christmas today as well, because we've been watching a lot of movies recently. I've seen this movie 100 times, but that's not the point. Anywho, basically, where I'm getting at with all of this is I think our Christmas colors are going to be like black, dark brown, and like orangey tones. I don't know. I think that's probably going to be the closest, in like dark red maybe, and that movie has a lot of those tones, so that's why I thought about it. Anywho, I think those tones look really good with this cardigan is my whole point. Is if I can have this cardigan done by Christmas, it could be my Christmas cardigan. It's really where I'm getting at. I'm still on the second skeins of both colors, which is nice, which I think I will have enough of what's left of each skein to finish the second front panel, and then I'll have to dip in skeins 3 of each of those that remain. I would be very surprised if the sleeves take more than like half a skein each or just over that. Anywho, I'm gonna get to that and we can go from there. Okay, I am currently up past my bedtime. It's Monday night, leave me alone. Okay, and it's 10:30. But you guys are gonna be happy. I finished both of the front panels. I'm hoping I don't drop stitches at this moment. Both the front panels are done. I'm a little worried about the overall like length. I feel like maybe that's not as crazy as I think it is. I don't know. Anyway, tomorrow my goal is to start the back panel, which part of me is dreading and the part of me is not dreading. Still have plenty of yarn left, so that's fun. But the back panel is gonna take twice as long because it's twice as large. Anyhow, that's there you go. I'm really tired, I'm sorry. But that is where we are at tonight. Both front panels are done. And now all I have left is the back panel. So I will probably cruise on that and then check in once I finish it. Or if I have any issues before I finish it, I'll check in with you guys then. I am at about 5 inches on the back panel. I need to be at like 8 and change pretty much. Also, sorry if you hear my husband's game at all. But I figured I'd come on here and we'd have a little chat. I'm getting mildly fed up with this project. I think it's just because it's a lot of like mindless back and forth rows, which for whatever reason I don't love doing. I think that's a lie. I don't mind doing a lot of back and forth or like just the same rows on repeat. It just becomes a thing of like, I've been on the same section for so long that I'm just getting tired of it, so I'm losing interest. I still very much want to finish this project. I'm just, at the moment, want to put it in jail because I don't want to deal with it anymore. Also, I don't know, I'm just like really tired this week. Work has been really demanding on my brain recently, for like this whole week pretty much. So by the time I finish work, I just want to be a vegetable for a bit. And that also means not knitting a little bit. Just because it's that same, just because I'm doing the same thing for so long. I'm only at 5 inches, I need to be at 8 inches. I've been on this section, I think, for like 3 days now. To be fair, I've been taking a lot of breaks, but that's not really my point. So I've been working on a couple smaller projects recently, mostly just projects for my event coming up. Really, that's just been bunny beanies. I finished a pink and blue one, and then I also finished, or I didn't finish, I started and have mostly completed one of my fox beanies, so that's really fun. I got through almost all of it and then just lost steam through the last half a couple nights ago, so my brain was like, never mind, I don't want to do this. I've also started a red and black bunny beanie that I will have done for sure before the event. I have about 3 weeks or so until my next market, which is nice. I think I'm going to finish up this last bunny beanie, and then maybe make another cardigan to bring with me. I think I might do the full rainbow cardigan. I'll insert a photo here if I have one of some of the versions I've done in the past. I've done a couple of them. So I might do either a full rainbow or like the half rainbow, half black and white. It depends a little bit on just what I'm like feeling up to. This weekend we also are slightly busy. My husband and I are doing a date night, and then we're also having friends come over later in the day to do D&D. So that'll be nice and fun. Part of me wants to socialize, the other part of me really doesn't. But we haven't done D&D in a long time, so we're like kind of due for doing it. It's the whole thing. Regardless, it's gonna be kind of fun, I think. I'm pretty sure. We kind of lost the plot on what we were supposed to be doing the entire time. And so now my husband, the DM, is hopefully going to try to rein us back in, but I am not making any promises to that at all. And then next week is pretty open currently. Essentially, okay, so here's the problem with my job. Alright, basically what I do is I help like manage a subsection of people who are learning to do part of my job. Okay, like to put this vaguely, because I also don't want to out my job or anything. And for this week, essentially, we've been hiring people in batches of like 8 to 10 people at a time, which is not my personal recommended way to do this, but that's neither here nor there. So the last 2 batches of 8, the people we hired were a little bit slow on the jump, or were having difficulties which slowed their progress and things like that. And because of that, they are now all more or less caught up at this point. So instead of just managing the like 20 something people I was managing, I'm now more closely managing like 30, or sub-managing, whatever you want to call what I do. And so it's making like everything I do take twice as long, and it's killing me a little bit. Like the last 2 days specifically, I've done 3 separate tasks that aren't connected to each other, and each task has taken 2 hours minimum each. So 6 hours of my day is just these 3 tasks that for 2 of them shouldn't be taking more than like an hour, hour and a half. But because we have this addition of so many more people that I'm having to like factor into my work, it's just lagging everything out. So all week I've essentially been like streamlining, getting as much stuff as I can done, and then pushing anything that remains to the following day and repeating that on as many times as needed. It's Wednesday and I've done this twice already, I've done that twice. Monday I was able to get everything done I needed to do and reschedule a meeting for today. Tuesday's kind of when it all started to fall apart. I got through most of my stuff today. I just moved like 2 things over because it just ended up working better. But hopefully, fingers crossed, tomorrow's one of my easier days with work, so hopefully that means I can get through my stuff and not be backlogged anymore. But yeah, so my brain's just been in absolute goop mode finishing work every day because I don't have any brain power left. But I think regardless, I think this is where I'm going to end this video. I know I said to get the back panel done and possibly the sleeves as well. I can't do it. I'm too tired. And like I mentioned, I kind of want to take a break on this project for just a little bit. I also hold myself to like a pretty I'm pretty high strung, okay? Only in very specific parts of my life am I high strung. But like things like me wanting to make sure that everything looks good and that I get everything filmed in time and that I do things in certain orders. Like, it's just, that's the kind of thing I'm high strung about, not really anything else, to be honest. So I put a lot of pressure on myself to like film my videos certain ways or like get certain ones done in certain orders, which honestly is a completely arbitrary rule I've sort of put on myself, if I'm being honest. And it's something that like I should just kind of get over. It's not that deep. Me missing an upload or me having to push an upload to a Sunday because my editing software is not working shouldn't feel so treacherous to me. I don't think that's the right word. I don't know a lot of words. But it shouldn't feel so daunting, I think is more what I mean. But yeah, so that's where I'm gonna end this video. We were at roughly 5 inches into the back panel, which is so nice. So I have another 3 and change left before I split to do some remaining neck shaping. And then from there, I think I just have the sleeves and the button band. I am making an executive decision because it's gonna be easier for me if once I finish the back panel here and I seam everything together, I think that's when I'm going to do the button band, and then I'll do the sleeves at the very end. Mostly doing it this way to avoid like having to flop my entire project around back and forth while I do the button band. Like, yeah, I'll still be doing that, but I also won't have 2 whole sleeves just flopping about. So I think that's why I'm going to do it that way. I also still need to order buttons for this. But I also might have buttons that fit. I don't know. I don't have, what is it called? I don't have a ruler that measures in millimeters. So I don't know how many, I guess I could just try to convert it. Anyway, point is, the buttons I have I think are likely too small and not the size that they want me to use in the pattern. But I'm not 100% sure, so I need to do the math and figure that out and or buy buttons. I also have some buttons that I made, or not that I made, that I used on the Forest Plains cardigan. I'll put in the video here, but it was a cardigan I made a couple years ago at this point, I think last year, that I don't wear because it's made of alpaca and I think I'm allergic to alpaca. That's another story. Anywho, I have those buttons and they're like the rectangular, like longer ones, which I think they'd look really good on this cardigan just because of the like, the tones of this cardigan is very like tree bark is what I think of when I look at it. And those buttons kind of give me the same energy. So I'm thinking of maybe using those. I don't know though for sure. I think I just gotta finish the button band and the sleeves and kind of figure out what I like. Anywho, finishing this video. This is the 3rd time I'm trying to finish this video. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Next video we'll probably be finishing this in the button band. And then the following one will be sleeves and my little roundup essentially of the pattern, or the roundup will be a separate video. I'm not 100% sure yet. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've made this cardigan. Let me know if you have any thoughts on this cardigan so far. And I will see you guys next time. I do recommend as well subscribing if you want to see the rest of the parts of this video. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!